Welcome to Logical Ayurveda. Today we are going to deal with Prameha with respect to the diabetes. In this video, we will try to answer the most frequent and most controversial questions asked about the Prameha by our junior Vaidyas and by the students. Question number 1. Are Prameha, diabetes mellitus and diabetes insipidus similar conditions or they should be considered separately? Question number 2. Do we have an hypoglycemic drug like metformin in Ayurveda? Question number 3. Sometimes there is blood sugar elevation in the patients, but there are no symptoms like Bahumutrata, Trishna, etc. of Prameha. Then what to do with such patients? How do you consider Madhumehi? By urine sugar or by blood sugar? Question number 4. How do you identify different doshas in Prameha? And how do we treat them accordingly? Question number 5. Why while giving Ayurveda medicines, some patients have good diabetic control, some patients do not get control, and in some patients the condition gets worsened. How to identify and treat these different conditions? Question number 6. What is the importance of diet and exercise in Prameha? How an Ayurvedic physician should advise diet and exercise in Prameha? Understanding Prameha with a lot of clarity gives us definitely an upper edge in treating the disease, and it is the most common found disease nowadays. Diabetes, India has become the diabetic capital of the world. So there are a lot of controversies surrounding Prameha. Let's address the first one. Can diabetes mellitus or diabetes insipidus can be correlated to Prameha? To answer that question precisely, Vagbhata has told in first chapter of Sutrasthana that nahi sarva vikaranam namato asti dhruvastati, which means don't do an instead exact mere correlation, or there is no need of naming each and every disease that comes to your clinic. You can name it Prameha, you can name it diabetes mellitus and diabetes insipidus. Unless you understand the patient's symptoms in a doshic way and give treatment, the patient is not going to get result. So there is correlation is of no use. But understand this. The Nidanas told in Ayurveda like Asya Sukham, Swapna Sukham, Dadini Gramya Odaka Anupa Mamsa Payasi, Navanam Gudavaikriti, Kafakricha Aharam, Avyayamam, Shita Snigdha Madhura Ahara is etc. or same for both diabetes mellitus and for Prameha. And the Udakavaha Shrotas, the Moola of the Udakavaha Shrotas, which is capable of excreting the kleda from the body. The Moola of the Udakavaha Shrotas is Talu and Kloma. So they have a Samyata. The diabetes mellitus and the Prameha has Samyata. Where exactly these both conditions become different will be explained later. Question number 2. Can we find a single hypoglycemic drug in Ayurveda that can be used for treating all the patients? No, absolutely not. If we find an Ayurvedic medicine which is like a blood glucose regulator for all the Pramehis, then we are not practicing Ayurveda but contemporary science. If we are giving a single medicine for Prameha or diabetes, then it is better to give metformin. The goal here is to understand the different avasthas exactly and give treatment accordingly and not find a shortcut of using a single medicine for all patients. Question number 3. Sometimes there is blood sugar elevation in the patient, but there is no sugar present in the urine. Only there is blood sugar, but when urine sugar is checked, there will be no urine sugar. So how do we understand from Ayurveda perspective in this particular condition? One thing that we have to understand clearly is that Sushruta, while explaining Purva Rupa of Prameha, not Rupa or not Upadrava, while explaining Purva Rupa of Prameha, he has clearly stated that when the person goes urine, the ants will be surrounding the urine. Indicate Pipilika Avasarpa Mutre is a main symptom in the Purva Rupa of Prameha, not in the Rupa or not in Upadrava, which means he has clearly stated there must be sugar in the urine to name the patient as Pramehi. But nowadays it is very difficult to name, so we put ourselves in a difficult situation because many patients come, their blood sugar in their fasting sugar will be 330 mg per dl and postprandial sugar will be 440 etc., but there will be no sugar in urine. we'll be absolutely surprised to see there will be no sugar in urine. To understand this, we need to take the help of modern pathology. So, according to the modern science, the glycosuria, that means sugar in the urine, is only found when kidneys undergo a considerable amount of damage. For example, I'm now a diabetic patient. I'm now a patient of diabetes mellitus. My sugar level is increasing day by day. My sugar level, when my sugar level is chronically above 180 mg per dl average, then my kidneys get considerably damaged because of the excessive sugar, causing the minimal kidney damage. It reduces the threshold or the capability of the kidney to not excrete sugar in urine. So, when the kidneys get tired, because the average blood sugar is more in the blood, it starts excreting urine in the blood. So, to understand this from an Ayurvedic perspective, blood sugar without urine sugar may be considered as a very initial stage of prameha. It means that if the patient does not handle this properly, definitely they are going to get urine sugar, definitely they are going to get full blown prameha, and they will be eventually treated as a prameha rogi. So, mere blood sugar can be considered as a starting stage of prameha, and the exercise and diet to the patient may bring better results, and we will discuss this later. So, question number four is that how do you identify different doshas and prameha, how to treat them accordingly? We are very happy to answer these questions because our gurus were great. They endowed the knowledge of how to differentiate a pramehi from the diabetes mellitus, and how to handle blood sugar, how to handle urine sugar, how to find different doshas in urine, and how to treat the pramehis accordingly, where it goes wrong, where it goes right, etc. This beautiful knowledge will be shared to you by next video in the part 2.